Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore, founder of foodtrucktraining.group. All this week, I'm interviewing Lauren and Lori, twin sisters from Double Trouble Philly Cheesesteaks, located in the great state of Texas. I've gotten the privilege to work with these ladies over the last couple of years before they even opened their food truck. And now, 2 years later on, they are growing as a business and as a brand. Pay attention to them because you'll be hearing a whole bunch more from them in the months to come. Let's talk about some habits you guys might have that helps to move your business forward. What's something you guys do every single day?
Pray.
Pray.
We start our day with that. And then one of our habits is that we talk. So we always get up in the morning and have our personal devotions. And then we get on the phone. What do we need to do? What do we don't have? What do we need to so that before we leave the house, we know what our next direction is. Whether I'll say, well, I'll go do this, you go do that. We'll meet up over here and then handle that and then get on location. So communicating every day to find out what's going on for that day. And then Lauren is the one that her every day is to make sure we post, and mine is to make sure I like to prep. I like to make sure that when everything is on that truck, if there's something missing, that I make sure we get that, because I hate to get to location and realize that something of importance is not there because I forgot to look at my notes or whatever. Right. So just making sure that we have everything. That's something that we have to do every day that we're open.
Let me ask you guys this. A lot of people work together as, husband and wife or siblings or whatever. How do you guys handle conflict when you both have a different idea that doesn't quite match up together?
Oh, we go through that. Yeah, I was going to say, we go through that all the lot. And so one or two things, and it's so funny because people who don't know us, when they hear us go back and forth, they're like, oh no. There's never no, there's no cussing, there's no name calling. I mean, it's strictly business. It's still strictly business. But sometimes we don't agree, or Lori wants this, or wipe off this, or do this, or can you do this? Or I don't want this. Lauren gives away too much ketchup. Let me tell you this about Lori. Lori is very, very organized, correct? Lori is but if Lori was a nurse, I wouldn't want her to be my nurse. Let me tell you why. Lori does not function well in chaos. No. As a nurse, I started off in the emergency room. Have you ever seen a trauma bay after somebody comes in there with a gunshot wound?
Oh, yeah.
There's stuff everywhere. Lori would stop all procedures. You'd be dead and cyaniding, and Lori's trying to put the Band-Aids and the Band-Aid selection and put so sometimes when in the heat of stuff, Lori will stop. There's people at the window. Stop! There's stuff on the floor. Just stop it. I can't do this. Bill, one time I had to get off the food truck to go and grab some extra provolone cheese or something. I promise you, Bill, I was only gone 20 minutes. When I came back, it looked like there was a food fight in the truck and she lost because I was moving the chair. We have a little stool there. It was flipped over upside down. Instead of the money being in the money container, it's thrown on the side like a wing to the plane. I was handling business, Bill. I mean, onion pieces, french fries. It looked like people was throwing food. I was like, I was only gone for 20 minutes. Really? But that was a real busy. But she did. She got a line and she was just moving like this. And so yes, we call her when you stop. But when you stop and you slow down, you get everything back together. But in the moment, I can't. If I got gloves on and I'm doing something and something hits the floor, I can't bend down and pick that up with my gloved hand, because I'm in the middle of the heat. Right. So that's why. So that's what the difference between being a lawyer. We go through that often. But I tell you, she's good at what she does, but she can never be my nurse. Ever. And I love her being my nurse because she is that person. She can multitask in different ways. And me, the way that I function, I just need like I said, I need organization. I need when people walk up to my window that they don't see chaos because we're making their food. So that's important to me. It's very important to me. And so, yeah. And I like to see people move. I like to see us move. Right. And I like to see us moving so that people don't say, well, what's taking so long? They see you moving. You may not be doing that, but you're moving. So that's just, yeah, but to handle conflict, we get our knockdown dragons. I tell you, when I have to drown her out, I keep a Bluetooth in. I'll put on country music. I'll get on the grill. I'll put my music in my ear and let myself calm down. And she'll go over and do the window, drop the fries and make sure. And then after a couple minutes, after whatever the disagreement was, it passes over a few minutes and we make sure our customers get straight. But there are times that we don't agree. She may want to try things that I don't want to spend the money on. But she always comes back. She always comes back and takes my idea. Sometimes. And so always. Yeah, there's never been nothing you never came back and took, my ideas that you take. Whether it was my loaded fry, whether it was my hoagie. So we'll fuss about it at first because Zoya look at the number and then eventually she'll come back and go, okay, I think we're going to try this your way. So I always win in the long run. I may not just win right there.
Who was born first between the two of y'all?
I am Lauren. I'm 7 minutes older than Lauren. But in African culture, they say the twin that was born first is not the oldest. In their culture, the twin who was born last is the oldest. She kicks the one out, which was me, to go test the world before she comes. Is that what they say? Mm-hmm. So in some cultures, Lori will be considered the oldest and the bossy one, kicking me out first.
Right.
And then, but technically I'm the older one. We're here dropping money. So yes, I'm 7 minutes older.
But at the end of the day, y'all end up coming together and created a successful business.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely, awesome. Absolutely. We have a bond that's probably a little different than regular sisters or regular brothers. So I think the fact that we are twins in itself gives us that extra piece of cushion because we can't stay mad at each other. We have a bond because we know that we're so much alike, and we know that we're both coming from the same place. And at the end of the day, once we calm down, like she said, we're usually saying the same thing, just in a different way.
Right.
So once we get our heads out of it, we're usually pretty good.
Going forward, what's a goal that you guys have for your business? What's something you want to achieve?
One of the things for me is that Lori and I don't have to physically always be on that truck in a work capacity. I always want to be surrounded around my truck, this one, and then the 5 that's coming shortly thereafter. I always want to be involved and hands-on. I always want people to expect to see us. I don't always want to be the one necessarily up there slinging the meat and all that. So just to be able to create that financial stability where I can look after my truck, I can drive people there, I can market myself outside of that truck and drive people to where I think the term would be where my goal is to own a business and not a job. And so right now we own our own job. We're able to work and do what we want, but we want to own a business where people are working that truck, providing the same service, the same quality of a product while we, collecting some change.
Yeah.
And not the kind that's just keep the kind of fold.
I think you bring up a really good point there. A lot of people think that when they buy a food truck or get into a food truck, they are a business owner.
Right.
You really aren't. You just bought yourself a job.
Right. Right.
And you may or may not like your boss.
Right.
I mean, there's some people that absolutely hate themselves, the way that they operate, the way that they do business. If you can't be sick and still have income coming in, you do not have a business. You have a job.
Exactly.
You're trading your hours for money.
Exactly.
And if you guys are able to hire people, one of y'all doesn't feel good for the day, the business still functions.
Yes.
It's still bringing in money. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's a great goal to have.
Yes.
And you guys already kind of answered this one. You talked about the 20 minutes and coming back and it being a food fight. Is there anything else funny that's happened to you that you really just think is just a really good story to share that was funny?
Well, I'm going to see if Lauren can think of one, because I tell you what, when we're going through stuff on that truck, it ain't funny at the time. So I don't know if there's something that's funny in retrospect, because this show wasn't funny when it was happening. Right? I don't know, funny. We laugh all the time, so it's so hard to pinpoint that.
What makes y'all laugh? Let's go that way. What tickles?
We just happy people. We love to see people happy. We love to put a smile on people's faces. And I tell you one thing that gets us laughing, because we've created this thing that when we take videos of people eating our sandwich for the first time, it's the cheese is so hot that they can't talk. It's a bobblehead effect. So now when people come to the truck for the first time and we ask them, are you guys going to eat here at the table? And we're all looking out the window. You should see me, her, and Keith. One of us has the phone and we say, is the bobblehead yet? And they go to bite it and they go. Because we're like, bobblehead, we got a bobblehead. And everybody just cracks up. Lori's supposed to be ordering us some bobblehead. Yeah, they're so expensive. I know. But yeah, so that bobblehead effect is something that makes us laugh, because we look for that on everybody that tries our food for the first time. And that's always the response. Yes. They go, because they can't speak because the cheese is so hot.
That is such a good thing to point out, the bobblehead effect. I like that.
Yes. So, yeah.
Let's talk about an embarrassing moment then. Well,
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Something
So
that
a couple
happened
of
that
those.
shouldn't have happened.
The most embarrassing for me, so I get I'm a member of a country club where I play tennis. So I called the guy to allow us to come out on the country club property. We get out there, we set up, we got everything going, we got music going, and run out of propane. So what we did, thank God that commissary lady was there. She had an extra tank. So instead of us having to hook up the truck and say, you guys will be back, I was able to play it off, take some orders, ask the guys to go to the bar, have a drink, and come back. And Mark and Lauren was able to unhook the truck, run down 5 minutes down the street, grab the propane tank, come back and hook it up, and we was able to get through like it never ever happened. Yes. But that was embarrassing because I was like, how am I going to tell these people we done got here and we ain't got no
embarrassing moment is actually a propane story too, because we were all the way in Cat Springs.
Yes.
We were all the way in Cat Springs, and we were serving all 3 days, and for some reason we were serving lunch. They were hungry, lined up at the window, and the grill goes off.
My God.
And it's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
And then nobody's open. Brothers is closed. There's nobody.
Yeah.
So we played it off. We kept smiling. We kept moving. And
that's all you can do. That's all you can do.
Nothing you can do.
But whose responsibility was it to check the propane?
So what happened was but what happened, it is on our responsibility, but what happened with that particular event, because it was 3 days, when they gave us the option on that Saturday to leave the trailer there hooked up, we got excited and never thought about that we needed to take the truck home just for propane purposes. We never thought, we were just so excited that we didn't have to pull that out because we were an hour away from home. And it was just so much faster for us to get home and get some sleep to disconnect and take the pickup. And we had never thought about it till we got back and ran out of propane. That's why we should have took the trailer home, or at least went and got another tank and brought it back. It never even crossed our mind because we were there so late, we wanted to go home and go to sleep.
But I tell you, out of that particular event, we got 2 other jobs, and they invite us back every year.
Every year. Yes.
Can't ask for any more.
Because the attitude, I think attitude is such a major thing. When they see that, we were sorry and that we really do care about our business, and they were like, guys, stuff happens, don't worry. And yeah, they never held that against us. And I just think because our attitudes were so positive, and we were like, look, we'll serve you what we can serve. We don't have no propane, but we had sandwiches. And
the only upside to that was the Boy Scouts was doing a spaghetti dinner a few hours later. Yes. So those who hadn't gotten lunch or ate yet was looking forward to that big spaghetti dinner. Had that been the last meal of the day, I think they would have killed us. Yeah.
But they had food. They
were looking forward to it. They were horseback riders, so everybody was skinny. Nobody looked like they was heavy eaters, although they enjoyed the food. So they were just as well to have a cup of coffee, a piece of pie that we had some dessert, and then wait for dinner. Yes. So the Boy Scouts should have done really well that day.
Well, that's good. You helped somebody else out.
Yes.
Wrapping up the interview week with Double Trouble, tomorrow we are talking about food memories taking you back home without a plane ticket. I hope you all are learning from and enjoying the podcast. If you are, please consider supporting us and helping us grow. There are links in the description to help show your support, and remember, every little bit does help. Please join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training, and I believe you will find it to be the best group on all of Facebook. If you need help or support or inspiration or just have a question, somebody amongst our amazing membership has got your back and they'll help you out. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.